Hey everyone, we're into the fourth week of Lent already. Doesn't seem possible, and I know that Lent is so strange for us this year because of our shelter-in-place rules that we're having in the midst of the COVID virus. But I hope that you are remembering that Lent is that time when you have an opportunity to look at your relationship with God and examine some things and do some praying and some good quiet time. So I guess this pandemic is helping us get that quiet time we never knew we wanted. Today, the fourth step that we're going to go over in making a pot is called trimming. It's in Britain called turning, so you may have heard it called that. But essentially what it is that once the pot is made, once the walls are lifted and once it's shaped and created, we have to let it dry to a stage called leather hard, and then we have to take part of it away, because if we don't take part of it away, there's the chance that it's going to break in the kiln. And it's a really apt metaphor, having to trim away the things that are weighting us down. The bottoms of my pots tend to be a little bit heavy, and the girls at the shop that I take class with always tease me and say that my pots are dual purpose. They're beautiful, and then they could also hurt a robber if they ever got into your house. So that's only because my pots are so heavy that they tease me like that. But I do try to always trim off as much as I can. And as I was preparing for this video, it just happened to occur to me that perhaps maybe one of the reasons why I don't trim off as much as I possibly can is because I do have trouble letting go of things. Have you ever had trouble letting go of something and so you feel a little more weighed down than you should? I'm going to start to trim this a little bit, and I'll show you what I mean when I'm trimming away what's weighting this pot down. This is called a Mule Tool. It's a trimming tool, a turning tool, a mud tool, I guess is what it's called. And so basically its job when I use it is to scrape away this clay into ribbons like this that come off of the pot to lessen its weight. So you get the pot turning, and then you take your tool and you just start to move away that part of the pot that is heavy. This mud tool is new to me, so sometimes if you're in a pottery shop watching somebody, you might see a tool like this, which is I'm much more able to use because of the fact that it's what I'm used to. But I'm trying to learn to use this mud tool, and I like the way that it pulls. But my job is to try and lessen the weight of this pot so that I get all of this extra clay that's on here from the bottom off of it, so that when it goes into the kiln to be fired, it won't explode, because too much weight causes us to explode on a pot. Imagine that. Things that weigh us down too much, sometimes don't they cause us to explode? We end up having those days when we snap and we don't really mean to, but it's because we've got so many things weighing on our mind. The scripture that we'll talk about today is going to talk about how what Jesus was doing was helping people to get up from what was weighing them down. But this particular pot that I'm working on today is going to be the chalice, the bowl part of a chalice once I get it put together. This is the bottom part of the chalice, and so eventually what will happen is that I will join these two together to make one large communion chalice. So I don't necessarily have to put a foot in this one, because I want this to fit as smoothly as I possibly can into that stem of that chalice. But I do want to try and get as much weight off of it as I can, because if I don't, it's going to weigh the pot down. And as I said, we're going to have the possibility that it will break in firing. But I think this is a really apt metaphor for maybe where we're at right now. I don't know about you, but I'm feeling a little heavy these days with worry, a little heavy with things on my mind that maybe I could have God trim away from me. I'm going to continue working on this. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.